So the first song I played was off, actually, first song I played was off a Zenith Patrol record that I did, don't even remember when I did it. I think I did it like 5 years ago. And for some reason, I got the CD sent to me some kind of way, so I started playing some of the songs. And kind of weird to be here because I never thought I would be in this position where I could pack out a drum store just playing solo drums. I've been spending the last 3 years playing in the Mars Volta, and it's been insane because I never knew what I was doing. I just was doing it. You know, I always talk about, I talked about it at every clinic about how old people are, get weathered by time. You know what I'm saying? You got, young people, they look at stairs, they look at 7 stairs and a skateboard, and to them it's an adventure. To old people, 7 stairs and a skateboard is pain. And I like to keep a young, adventurous, childlike attitude towards music and the drums, because I've always done this because I love to do it. I never did it for any other reason. And I started doing it because it was fun. I never did it thinking that like I would have some crazy outcome. So I never wanted to start having that weird thought pattern. And so I started playing when I was 3. I don't know how it started. My grandmother basically played in church, and she actually quit playing piano to work a day job because she had kids. And when she saw that I wanted to play drums, she just basically nurtured me. Like, she wasn't like on my neck, like you have to practice or you got to do nothing like that. But she would actually, like, you know, get me to practice by doing other things, like, you know, buying snare drums and cymbals and stuff like that, which made me want to play the drums because I was having new snares and new drum things. And, you know, it's not always expensive stuff like that. It would be like sets of, like, I don't know, weird sticks, anything. Like, she just was into, like, you know, she was into it almost as much as me. And it made it cool for me because I always had a place to practice at her house, and it always kept me interested. Where sometimes I watch parents and they're like, can you tell him to practice? And I'm like, dude, like, once you help him practice, buy him a snare drum, buy him a drum set. My grandmother used to take me on what I call the drum store tour, where we would go to every drum store in the area. Like, it was like 5 drum stores at the area, and we would take a tour. Like, we wouldn't have a lot of money, so we wouldn't be able to buy things out of every drum store, but it was just cool to go and just look, you know what I'm saying? It just kept me interested, and she kind of knew how to, I don't know, to keep me inspired. So when I was 3, started playing. When I was about 4 or 5, she lied to my drum teacher, well, a guy who wanted to teach me drums, and told him I was 7, but I was 4 or 5. And he taught me, you know, Mary Had a Little Lamb, basically. Started with that. And then I got older, and I was always growing up in church. And anybody who goes to church at all, any church that has like a really bad music ministry is usually a terrible church and nobody's there. So I went to a church that was like a big church where I lived at. So there was a lot of musicians that would come through. And to be able to play at church, you had to be good. And it wasn't like, you know, they had no issue with it. It was just that you had to be good. So I had a lot of friendly competition around me. Like, I grew up with a million young drummers my age, but the only thing that separated me from half of them is that I never quit playing. And I took it a lot more seriously than some people. And so I kept playing. After a while, I had like Pearl exports. Anybody have Pearl exports in here? Yeah, I had a lot of those. I had 4 of them, and 2 of them, one of them burnt in a fire, and then one I gave to my church for tithes and offering because I was too young to have 10%. So I gave it my drums. And then the other 2, I don't remember. I think one of them I had, and I remember that I looked at Modern Drummer, and they had the Pearl Master Series. This one was when Pearl was actually cool. so it was a Pearl Master Series in the catalog, and I really wanted that kit. And I went to Guitar Center with my grandmother to price the kit, and it was $3,500. And we didn't have $3,500. So it was like, she was like, you're not going to get that kit. And I was at Guitar Center. I know that you guys don't like those guys. And we was at Guitar Center. And so the guy, he was like, you know, you should enter the drum off. So I tried to enter the drum off, and I told my grandmother that I was going to win it. And meanwhile, I was 9 years old. So she's looking at me like, you probably won't win. There's teachers entering the drum off and all this other stuff. And the whole time I told her I was going to win. And I really believed I was going to win. And story to be short, I won the drum set. And that night I was setting up drums. And like that determination just kept going with me. And like the following week, it was like almost like God had his hand on me the whole time. Like that following week, Dennis Chambers came to town, and he played at a club for every night for a week. And I walked up to him at 10 years old like, Mr. Dennis Chambers, I love you.